This is Overtime with Terrence and Leon, a WRBI original production presented by Bruns Gutzwiller. Choose Bruns Gutzwiller for your next construction project. Also being presented by FCN Bank. FCN Bank, building stronger communities. Member FDIC. Leon, there is so much going on right now in southeastern Indiana as it relates to high school football. We had to interrupt our basketball flow to talk to some of these coaches that are heading into a regional championship game. We got 3 schools in the area. We already checked in with East Central, so let's keep it on that side of the world and get down the road to Milan and talk to their head coach as they go into a regional. What do you think, Leon?
Hey, I'm just glad that he could find time in his busy schedule to put us on the calendar. I feel absolutely privileged to be with one of my favorite coaches.
I'm calling. We make you a priority.
Well, Coach, listen, congratulations on the sectional win. You guys have been bumping heads with Coach Stern in North Decatur for quite some time. But this year you break through. What was that moment like?
It was a great feeling. There's no harder trophy to win in sports than a sectional trophy. It's hard to win. And, we have met in the sectional the last 6 years.
Wow.
So, it was nice to come out on top, obviously. It was a great win for not only our players and our coaches who have put in a lot of time and effort and work, but it was a great win for the community as well. It was fun to see how excited the community was after the game, and student section, parents. We got our Milan tradition, our bus trip around town after the sectional championship. So that was fun, and it was just a great experience and a great night for Milan High School and the Milan community.
Coach, I know most people would say you'd have to be a fool to not be excited about the next game. But we are talking about athletes. And what happens is a lot of times when you have an emotional win, a big win that you've been wanting, teams let down sometimes. How do you keep your guys from not doing that?
Well, we talked about that today at practice. We talked Friday night that we needed to keep our focus and energy level constant, right? Like, don't get your highs too high and your lows too low, because we knew it was going to be a back and forth game. We knew it was going to be a fight, and trying to maintain that constant level of focus and energy, and that's kind of how we carried over today and into this week. Yes, we reached one of our goals of winning a sectional, but it's the process that gets you there that leads to the win, leads to the sectional championship. And so, that's what we emphasized is, we've put a lot of work in, and our team is playing pretty well right now. Yeah. And so let's keep it going and keep focusing on us, right? Not focus on Providence, keep focusing on us, and, continue to write our own chapter in the Milan football history books. And, I like where the team's at. I think we're focused. I don't think we're done. I don't think they're satisfied, I guess, is what I mean by that. Mm-hmm. And we had a good, typical Monday night practice, but kids were locked in. It's a little different this year that we played Providence once already. So kids are familiar with the opponent and the guy they're going to be lined up against. I'm sure both coaching staffs will have some wrinkles in that'll be different last time we played them. But it makes it easy to watch film and, see who you're going to line up against and refamiliarize yourself with what to expect when you get down there Friday night. So it's definitely a unique experience, but I feel like our kids are focused and ready to continue to play.
Coach, with the season going and coming toward the end, what has been your theme with the team to keep them focused as you've gone along and had more and more success and gotten better and better each week?
It's simple. Focus on us.
Yeah.
We went into Friday night and said, we can't lose this game because of us, right? Like, if North Decatur is going to win that game, they're going to have to beat us, not us beat ourselves. And I'll be honest, it got a little nerve-wracking towards the end of the game when they got down to the 5-yard line, and we made some mistakes towards the end of the game. We had some offense had quite a few penalties Friday night, self-enforced penalties, right? Not holds, false starts, illegal procedures, stuff like that. And so, our goal the whole week was don't beat ourselves, focus on ourselves, line up correctly, play fast, and good things are going to happen. Don't overthink it. Don't worry about the opponent. Just focus on ourselves. And that's kind of been our theme the last few weeks. There was a time in the season our defense was really struggling.
Mhm.
And we've moved some guys around, and we've kept chipping away and getting better at what we're doing because we came in with a new defensive scheme this year. And I think it took us some time to get used to it. Took us some time to figure out how to coach it and coach it better.
Mhm.
But I think we finally got some guys in the right spots, and our defense has been playing really well, which has led to this tournament run here towards the end of the season.
Coach, obviously you've had your guys getting better and better each week, like you said. What have you learned about your guys that maybe wasn't there in the beginning?
There's so much on an individual basis. I can tell you this: as a team as a whole, they don't stop. Batesville, we played a terrible first half. Come back, have a chance to win the game at the end. Providence, the first time we played them, played a terrible first half. Outscored them in the second half. Madison's kind of the same deal. Slow start, and then we fight our way back. And so, the team takes punches pretty well.
Yeah.
And can respond to that. And I think if they couldn't do that, Friday night would have ended up differently. Yeah. Because North Decatur definitely had the momentum at the end of the game. And, I think that's a credit to kind of this team's DNA, if you want to call it that. Like there's just, that not much shakes them. They just come back and fight. And I give our seniors and captains some credit on that. And then from an individual basis, my goodness, how much we've grown. And do a player to player about, you start the season thinking a certain player is going to fit in whatever role it is, amount of playing time, position, what their skills are, what they're best at. And, you get to week 12 of the season and some of those thoughts are long gone as players have transitioned into new positions. One of those players, Cameron Gill, started as a corner for us as a sophomore. Started the season as an outside linebacker, and now we got him playing defensive end and doing a great job at it. And so we've been able to tweak and move some guys around and, get them in the right spot. But, every player has their own story. And I think that's what makes coaching enjoyable, to get to watch those players not only grow and mature, but kind of help them find their strengths and watch them mature, I guess, in front of your eyes. And that's been a lot of fun. And it happens every season, good or bad, wins and losses, regardless. You see it every season, and that's what makes what we do fun.
Coach, now I've talked to you. We've had this conversation before about the way that you put your schedule together and going up in weight class, so to speak, playing some of these bigger schools. Is this the time of the year where that pays off?
Well, you'd like to think so, but we've had the schedule for I believe this is year probably 4 that we've kind of played 4 3A schools, and so the 3 previous years, maybe you can't say that, I don't know. I know we've had some really good games with North Decatur in the sectional, but out of all 4 of our losses throughout the season, all 4 of those teams were still playing last Friday.
Yeah,
Batesville, Lawrenceburg, Providence, and Madison. And so obviously Batesville came out with a big win. Madison lost by a point in their 3A sectional championship. Providence obviously got the win. We're getting to see them again. So I think our schedule speaks for itself. And you know what? Here's the deal. We didn't play well against those teams, and we made plenty of mistakes. And, they're a 3A school and a school, but it doesn't mean we have to accept it. And, we didn't accept the fact that we made our own mistakes and didn't play well against those bigger schools. And, were games that we could have, should have won.
Yeah.
And so, we just, like I said, we just keep focusing on ourselves and trying to improve to get better. So we were at our best when tournament time came around.
What would a show be talking to one Langferman when you can talk to 2 Langferman? Grant, welcome to the show.
Hey,
Hey, I got to ask you this one question before we get too deep into this. As a player, you win that sectional championship and you take the ride around the town with the police escort, the sirens blaring, and the whole town is out welcoming you back into Milan. What is that like?
it's definitely an experience. I got to watch in 2016 was our last sectional championship, and I got to watch all those guys do that. And I've watched senior after senior not get to reach that goal, and reaching that goal was definitely an experience. And seeing bringing the whole town up and the liveliness in the town after the win was it's a different feeling. It was something I will definitely remember for probably the rest of my life. It was a big moment.
What is it like what's the conversation like when that game is over? Everybody's probably everywhere. At what point and what is said between you and your dad after that game?
Well, all I can remember is the moment we won, and we took that final knee. I ran to him, I gave him a big hug because I know we've definitely won it as a family, as a program and everything. And it was a big moment for me. I kind of just, not many words were said, just one big hug.
Okay, so now I got to ask you about the boss. How long did it take you to get off the field to get to your mom?
It honestly wasn't that long. They were out there pretty fast after we sung our fight song. So
Did she have her cowbell with her?
she did have her cowbell with her. Yeah.
Grant and Ryan, I'll let you chime in on this as well. Obviously, football is a big part of your family with coaches and players, and let's face it, coaches' wives, they got a role too. So obviously, football is a big part of your family. Talk to me just a little bit. I mean, how does that all mesh together? What does football mean to this family?
Well, obviously the sport of football is important to us, but in the end, I mean, it's the time of year. It's an event that brings our family together.
Right.
And I'm sure in every coaching household, it's very similar. The family has ups and downs depending on how the team performs. Behind every great coach is a great wife, and they're doing all the stuff behind the scenes to make it happen. From organizing team meals to selling sectional shirts to washing uniforms to whatever it takes. And they're also your biggest cheerleader at home. And I've been fortunate to be able to do this at Milan as my three boys grow. And, as soon as they were old enough to be there on the sidelines as ball boys, that they could protect themselves on the sidelines, they were out there. And so, when Grant says he was there in 2016, he was. And, we Carly thought Fast Enough Friday night we had a picture from the last, 8 years ago of the family with the sectional trophy, and we got to recreate that. Although Grant and Beckett are a little taller now,
That's cool. That's cool though.
It was in our household, it's an event, and it's something we all bond around, and it's a lot of fun, and I truly appreciate my family allowing me to do this. Mm-hmm. It's an experience that not many people get to have, but something I truly appreciate.
Bruins Guts Willer is the right choice for your next construction project. We strive to deliver unparalleled service to our clients by focusing on craftsmanship and quality. Our core values of integrity, professionalism, and fair pricing all but ensures our clients receive the best possible experience. Whether it's commercial construction, remodeling an existing space, or even building a luxurious home, we offer a comprehensive suite of construction management services. So before you break ground, give us a call at 812-934-2105. Bruins Guts Willer, building a better future for Southeastern Indiana for over 100 years.
You know, Leon, one of the things that I like most about working and living in Batesville, it's the community. Batesville has a little something for everyone, and FCN Bank is the exact same way. Whether it's my personal or business needs, FCN offered me an array of banking products and services that would fit my every banking need. Don't take my word for it. You should check it out yourself at www.fcnbank.com. FCN Bank, building stronger communities. Member FDIC.
So Grant, when you're in a game and something doesn't go your way, are you more afraid of facing your dad or your mom?
Oh, it really depends on what I did. If it was something dumb like sportsmanlike, definitely probably mom. But if it's just a player mistake, probably dad. Probably dad. But overall, like, they don't really carry anything over on the field home. We kind of they do a really good job of keeping that separate. Like, I go home and it's home, and we're not all football. But I mean, they keep it pretty separate, so I'm not too worried about it when I come home.
All right. Well, hey, I also want you guys to know that this combination of coach, kid, father, son, whatever you want to do, you guys are in good company. We've had a D1 thrower from Greensburg and her dad, who's our coach. We had the South Dearborn crew, and we had Trey Galloway and his dad. So you guys are in some highfalutin company there.
I want to ask this question, Grant, just from the player perspective. I mean, you're familiar with, even before you were on the team, you're familiar with the history of Milan and North Decatur when it gets to this time of the year. Mm-hmm. As a player on the field, at the point in time that North Decatur had the lead, what was the conversation? What was it with you guys that you were like, not again, not this time? What was that like in those moments?
Yeah, when they got up, it was pretty early in the game, and the first thing we did was we all got together and we recognized what happened and what went wrong, and we all made sure that we had learned from that mistake, and everyone was still locked into the game. Nobody was thinking about the bad. We always make sure to think about the good. And one big thing we all talk about is palms down. So, like, once you get a mistake, you don't ever put your palms up and, like, who questioned who, or you ever get into an argument. Everyone is really focused on our jobs, and we make sure to make up for our mistakes. And we all talked each other up, and we knew who made the mistake, but no one ever talked down on that person. We all brought each other up, and they ended up making a lot of plays for us that night. So everything worked out.
So let me stop you for a second. Palms down.
I like that.
Tell us about that. Either one of you guys, tell us about that.
So we had a speaker last year, a motivational speaker almost, and he had talked to us about a lot of ways to kind of refresh your body and refresh your mind after something goes the wrong way or doesn't go the way you wanted it to. And palms down was kind of a good way, because, like, when you make a mistake, normally everyone likes to blame everybody else and throw their hands up, and everyone just thought, like, palms down is a good way to, like, refresh your body. It's like a reset thing, almost like a lot of people you'll see, if they make a mistake, they'll restrap their gloves or do something little like that, and that was just a good refresher for everybody.
Well, and Leon, don't tell Leon that, because he thinks when a receiver starts adjusting his gloves, he thinks you're blaming his gloves you're blaming that drop on your gloves.
Hey, I do have to tell you, I busted Damian Dance's chops when he dropped that touchdown against you guys, and he took his gloves off and threw them to the sideline. I said, "You don't do that as a receiver. What are you doing?" And he was like, "It's my way of cleansing myself."
We actually had a Austin Halcomb from the Versailles area worked with our team last year, and he works as a sports psychologist, and so he talked to our team about many things, but moving on from mistakes was one of them, and that's where the palms down came from, and it's stuck with our team the last couple seasons.
I like that.
Coach, do you think that you talk about a sports psychologist and the mental aspect of the game? That's obviously not always been that way. I mean, that's let's call it a new age thing in coaching. Are you seeing dividends? Are you seeing benefits of bringing that aspect into the program?
Yeah, I think I'm going to date myself here and sound probably 100 years old, but it used to be when I started coaching 25 years ago, if you had a good VHS player and a spreadsheet, you could really get an advantage, right? Like just charting your opponent and figuring out down and distance, like you could really get an advantage. And now it comes Huddle, where I can pull any report within seconds.
Right.
But along with that technology has come social media.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it's tough on kids. It's a nonstop mental battle with kids, depending on their level of social media involvement. And we coach the mental game. At least I do. Coach the mental game now more than ever.
Wow.
I think Lou Holtz is the one that gets credit for saying mental's to physical is 4-to-1.
Yeah.
I'm sure he said that long before social media was what it is today. But we're talking about that all the time because it's a nonstop influx of different perspectives and people's opinions and building people up and tearing people down, and I think kids really struggle to have confidence and to see their strengths, and so we chose to do that last year, and I think it definitely helped our kids. In some aspects, I felt like it was the same stuff our coaching staff was telling the kids, but hearing it from a different point of view, definitely helped. But I feel like we coach the mental game now more than ever.
Coach, I know you're the next game is the biggest game type guy, but I'm going to ask the question anyway. Have you allowed yourself the chance to think beyond this game and what a state championship in football would mean to the school and to this program?
I'll be honest, I have not, Terrence. Matter of fact, after we won Friday, we knew we would play Providence in the regional, but I didn't know who was in the other side of the bracket.
Yeah.
I had to look up that we would play Sheridan and South Putt.
Aha, you looked though, but you did look.
Look, I did look after. And I do know we'll be home. We get there Friday night, we'll be home, so we're excited about that. I'll tell you one thing about our team. You talk about their makeup. I would love to track our mileage in the tournament and compare it.
Yeah.
The Knightstown in round 1, which was about an hour and a half drive. We went to West Washington round 2, which is a 2-hour drive, and now we're going to in the regional, which is a 2-hour drive. We have become road warriors, but to our team's credit, we've had a lot of away games this year just because of the way the schedule fell. And, we've been able to get off the bus and play. And I'll tell you, there was a conversation with our team on our way to West Washington, that 2-hour bus ride. And of course, I'm in the front seat acting like I'm not listening. But the kids were in the back just talking about just football. They were reminiscing about youth football memories. I think at one time there was a fantasy draft going on. For players, which players would you draft for your Milan fantasy team? It was just kids being kids.
Yeah.
That West Washington game, we were nervous. They were a good team. They just beat South Decatur pretty soundly, and we had a 2-hour ride. And I heard them having those conversations, just being kids. Not sleeping, not staring at their phones. And I'm like, we're going to be all right. And I think this team is just kind of, they're not looking ahead. They're just staying in the moment. And I think that they want to play another week. And like you said, it's one game at a time. And we had a good start tonight at practice. And I know the coaching staff's going to have us ready. So it should be a good game on Friday night.
Hey, Grant, I mean, obviously everybody loves a home game, but put us behind the scenes with you as a player. How do you get ready for the game on Friday? What does your day look like?
Well, normally our Fridays are our test days in school too, so that kind of makes everything a lot more stressful. But during the school day, I mean, it's really hard, but I try to focus on pretty much just school. But the moment that bell rings, it's pretty much just football, football, football. And I always make sure to like stay calm, especially if it's an away game. I just stay calm on the bus, hang out, talk with my friends. Like my dad said, just be like kids. And I never think of all through the day. I never think about the negatives. I'm always thinking positive and positive. And I mean, me and my buddies, we all talk about the football game through school. We game plan at lunch. I sit with pretty much all of them at lunch, so we figure everything out. And I make sure that Austin Halcomb guy talked a lot about breathing. So I like to, even before I get on the bus or before we go out there for warm-ups, home or away, I always make sure to take a few seconds just to breathe, listen to some music or something, just to calm down, calm my nerves, and kind of positive self-talk. Make sure I'm ready for the game.
A little JJ McCarthy, I guess.
Yeah.
So what do you got on the earbuds though when you're on the bus?
Oh,
what are you playing? Come on, forget the dad is on here.
Yeah, your dad's not on here. Give it to us.
I don't know. It really depends. Sometimes I'll be listening to a little Zach Bryan or something like that. But then I know I sound like a country boy, but
that's the dad answer. Come on, give me the real answer.
Sometimes Zach Bryan, and then I'll listen to Eminem will come on once in a while. Drake will come on sometimes. A little bit of that. Mix it up.
You mean you don't have Big X to plug on your list yet?
I do not have Big X to plug on my list.
Oh, man, I'm sorry. My daughter's got me on Big X to plug. I love it. Love it.
I apologize. On his behalf, I apologize. Listen, guys, it's championship week, so I know there's a lot of things you could be doing. We appreciate the time to hang out with us for just a little bit. Goes without saying, we wish you guys all the luck in the world. There is nothing that I want more than to get back on this channel next week and talk about 3 teams in this area that's getting ready to play for semi-state. That would just be incredible. And I know you guys are gonna hold up your end of the bargain. And as I told Coach earlier today, I want a ticket to Lucas Oil to work, not as a spectator. I want to go and work at Lucas Oil. Let's go.
Hey, Coach, Friday's game, can you tell any of our listeners how they can listen to it on the radio or live stream on the IHSAA app or anything?
Yeah. So one thing, the game's been pushed back to 7:30.
Okay.
Enough our fans enough time to try to get down there after work. Tickets are $10, and there is a live stream on the IHSAA TV web. It's a Providence. But so if they can't make the trip down, they should be able to watch it live through the IHSAA TV network.
If I'm listening, Coach, I'm watching it on the app, and I see something, you want me to text you and let you know what to do?
Yeah, I mean, you'd be one of many, so you get to give your opinion too, Leon. So
thanks, I appreciate that.
Okay, all right, guys. Again, good luck Friday night, man, and we're looking for you to bring back some hardware.
Thanks,
Let's go, Grant.
Yeah, thank you.
And that's going to do it for this one. We'd like to thank all of our sponsors for making this show possible. They include Bronze Guts Willer, the right choice for your next construction project, and FCN Bank, building stronger communities, member FDIC. Also, we'd like to thank our friends of the program. They include Margaret Mary Health, S&B Driving School, and Country 103.9 WRBI. And as always, subscribe, like, rate, and review. And remember, be a friend and tell a friend about Overtime with Terrence and Leon.